Man, I've been waiting to do this video, discuss this topic, and I wanted to do it all last week, but you know what? What better time than now? Tesla will not stop moving, and it's not even like a crazy move. It's just been since May. It's been on a nice run up. It has been beautiful. This is my largest holding. It's by far my largest position. It isn't even close. I have high conviction in Tesla, but I wanted you to break down the technicals to get your perspective on Tesla. It's been one that's been a frequent flyer on the watch list. Fat Man Zoom special today. Tried to break above that 800. I'm feeling really good about it, but I need an unbiased opinion on what you think about Tesla technically and where it can go.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart right now. We've coined a new pattern. It's the gravy boat pattern. And Tesla has hit the gravy boat pattern. You guys know about the cup and handle, and this is not quite an organized cup and handle, but it kind of resembles that of a gravy boat. Look, we talked about for months now this $780 resistance, Fat Man Zoom, and that was going to be potentially a trouble spot, and it just blew through it like it did not give two shits about 780. And sometimes we see this out of Tesla. It just surprises, and then it comes back and actually retests, those levels of resistance. It was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was supposed to come and hang here for a while. Yeah. So I think there's definitely potential for it to come back to that 780 area, maybe live there, see some consolidation a little bit before the next move higher. But there's definitely some risks here, not just from a technical standpoint, but from the standpoint of, meeting demand and the supply chain issues that, Tesla's been experiencing. We heard from Tesla as far as that's concerned on their last earnings report. They haven't had earnings since July 27th, and so we won't hear from them again for about another month. So there's definitely some risk factors here, especially with as high as this has gone up. I remain bullish on Tesla longer term. In the short term, I think that there could be some rockiness coming for this. If it continues to roll here, though, I mean, there's nothing that I would say that's stopping it going above 800 before we see a correction.
Yeah, we've had some analysts that have talked about bullishness, particularly coming out of China, certainly Europe, Model Y. That's been a quick shift from Model 3 to Model Y as far as Tesla's focus. And Elon, I believe, mentioned a couple months back that he thought Model Y would be the best-selling vehicle in the world. Wasn't that the Model Y he talked about?
Yes.
And so it was hard to see, but there have been some rumors, speculation coming out that the ramp up out of China, the Shanghai factory for Model Ys in particular, has been obscene. So revisions as far as the full year production outlook, I'm really encouraged by where we're at. I actually think going into the end of October earnings, I think this is actually promising that it could run up into it. If it continues to run up, maybe a little bit of cause for concern to hold on through earnings, but from a long term, still feel really good. We're going to see as we get closer to the end of the year, these revisions for production numbers.
Yeah.
800K, I think, is sort of that line where 800, 850K, where they've got to get over. A million seems pretty far-fetched, but if we talked about that at the beginning of the year, it started out, I want to say, 750K. So there have already been upward revisions. If that number keeps coming up, if it gets above that 850, I think Tesla's going to be in really good shape to hit that $1,000 per share price target. And I think that's what it's worth, because what you can't forget is we're talking about 50% year over year growth in production, not including solar, not including semis, not including Cybertruck, none of that. So you add that into the mix. Yeah. What does that mean for Tesla in the future? If you have a longer time horizon, this puppy is going to print money for you.
Yeah, I mean, and Kathy Wood is still standing by her $3,000 price target, which I think could certainly be in the mix here. Is there any cause for concern as far as how much this has actually gone up? Because I mean, I'm looking at RSI right now, and I know that RSI is just an indicator, but it's been screaming for a while. I would imagine that we would see some sort of correction before the next pop in the short term. And we can make the argument that maybe this runs in the earnings, but I think there's an argument that you can make for a potential correction before the next move up, which is kind of what I'm thinking that might happen.
Well, I think what you have to do is, I think it's important to compare things similarly.
Yeah.
So you've brought up stocks that have lagged.
Yeah.
So Tesla's only up 14% on the year. So to me,
after an 800% year last year, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, their numbers were also insane. So I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. What are they off their highs? Like that's where I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, Tesla not only is off its highs, on top of that, it's last year was, and this may sound like confirmation bias, but like last year, it was hard to produce.
Yeah.
Like it's not Zoom. This isn't Zoom where the lockdown like helps the company. There was challenges like the Fremont factory. Elon had a lot of challenges as far as because he was trying to rush them back open, stuff around that. The current climate hurts Tesla. So as we reopen, I think that bodes well for them. Yeah, I mean, the argument is fair as far as like overvaluation and whatnot. But if you look at the growth story of Tesla, I think the argument is definitely there. And you talk about EVs, how they are, like so far ahead. I mean, we were having this conversation at 600.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And my conviction stayed the same in that it could go down to 600. Absolutely. But like, I don't want to wait, like there was concern at 600. Well, we're at 800 now. I've built up a nice little cushion as far as a green's concerned. So if it pulls back, I fully expect a little bit of a pullback. We get that. And looking at your channel, it could very well do that. But I just feel like this year feels different. Last year, there was all this like craziness surrounding the split, S&P entry. It seems like things are a little bit more calm now. And the confidence in Tesla, for me, is really high from a conviction perspective. And they do it better than anybody else does in an EV space.
Yep. I mean, definitely some compelling arguments. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments below as well on your thoughts on this. Is there potential correction here? What are you guys thinking about Tesla? Are you not in? Are you waiting for the opportunity to get in? Have you been in for a while? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys.